Hi guys, it's Lisa with the Old Weathered Barn Soap Company. Let me see if I can get my face on there. How are you tonight? I am going to be making our Dandelion soap, and I wanted to hop on board and share the making of this with you. So I'm going to switch over, see if I can do this. There we go. This is my lye solution. And this is my frozen distilled water, frozen goat milk, frozen dandelion infused tea, and frozen carrot juice. The orange carrot juice will give it a yellow color. This right here is my patchouli and orange essential oil. I have it synced in white kaolin clay and orange pill powder, and that's just to retain the essential oil fragrance in the bar itself. So the first thing that I'm going to do is, first I want to tell you, safety is really important when you're working with lye. So I have got my gloves on, my long sleeves, and my goggles. My husband thinks, what do you think, babe, when I wear these goggles?
You're hot.
My husband thinks I'm hot in my goggles. I don't know. You think I'm hot? I don't think I'm hot in these goggles, but he does. So if it makes him happy, I'm happy. Um, but anyways, so let's see here. We'll go back to my frozen carrot juice, dandelion infused distilled water, and frozen distilled water. And you always want to pour your lye into your frozen mixture or liquid mixture. You never want to pour your liquids into your lye. And the reason for that is, first of all, it's caustic, and the fumes would be crazy, but also you can get a volcano effect. Hi, Crazy Mom Creations. How are you? It does actually smell really good. I blended it and used a wooden stick so that it could retain the scent so that I can get an idea. And I like to pour my lye in slowly. Now this is already an orange tint from the carrot juice, but it will even, because of the goat milk in there, it will become even a darker orange. The goat milk and the carrot juice have sugars in it. I've got my oils and my hard oils and butters in the microwave already. Now I soap at a pretty steep discount, and what that means is I use less water than normal, and that is to prevent the soda ash that you get on the soap. And that soda ash, sometimes I want that soda ash because it gives it a kind of rustic look. But if you've ever seen handcrafted homemade soap in a market or the grocery store like Trader Joe's, and you see that ashy look on it, that's what that is. That's called soda ash. So I've got this going right here, and I am going to stir it for a while because I want, hi Wild River Gems, how are you? I want to make sure that all my lye granules are dissolved before I leave it sit. Now I have a bowl of ice water. I'm going to put this in an ice water bath here to help it cool down, and I'm going to get my thermometer. because this, even though it was blended in ice, is 151 degrees. That's how hot that lye gets, guys. So you got to really be careful when you're working with lye. One, it'll burn you because it's hot. Two, it'll burn you because of the chemical compound in it. And three, it's very, very dangerous, not only for your skin, but for your eyes. So I'm going to sink this into my water bath. See if I can get all that ice out from underneath. Takes a few little swooshes to do that. There we go. And that's going to cool off pretty quick. So I'm going to want to keep a good eye on it. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to check on my hard oils and butters. I'm going to go ahead and move my lye solution out of the way. I'm going to stir it one more time before I start working on my hard oils and butters. Now I melted this in the microwave. You can do this in a double broiler if you want. But I use my microwave. It's just much more convenient for me. And I don't want to melt it all the way because you don't want your hard oils and butters to be overheated. So I like to use my stick blender to finish melting any of the hard pieces. And those hard pieces are your cocoa butter. This recipe has cocoa butter, shea butter, coconut oil, and reasonably sourced palm oil. I know there's a lot of controversy with palm oil, but I happen to like palm oil. I love the properties in it for the skin. So the hardest butter in that blend is your coconut or your cocoa butter. So I'm going to just go ahead. The first thing you want to do is you want to burp. You can see some bubbles coming out of there. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to blend up those pieces. Now this is a fairly easy batch to make because it's just one color. And when I was in Napa taking my little microdoodles for a walk, I came across a patch of a field of dandelions, and so I picked them, I harvested, I foraged them, and I dried them, and then I infused them in light olive oil. So now what I have here is my liquid oils. My liquid oils consist of olive oil, avocado oil, and castor oil. So what I will do now, and I keep my utensils in this because they still have some hard butters on them, and I like to keep them and get them melted with the oils and butters that went into the microwave. And I'm messy, guys. I'm a messy soaper. So heads up now, I'm a very, very messy soaper. I can't help it. Now I super fat at about 7%. Super fatting is any of your oils and butters that are left over after the saponification process. Saponification starts the minute the lye solution hits the oils and butters, and it takes about 24 hours. 24 to 48 hours for a good saponification. Now, what does that mean to us? That means your soap, your hard batch, is still not completely chemically infused. The oils and the lye are not completely chemically infused and saponified. But after saponification, there is no lye left in your soap. So we've got our hard butters and oils and our soft oils here. And I like to go and just get them all emulsified. So I burped it before doing that. Okay. Now every soap's a little different. Let's go ahead and do a temp check. It's 96 degrees, and that's perfect soaping temp. So let's see what our lye solution is. It's down to 95. So we are at a perfect temp to pour our lye solution into our oils. Now, like I said, I do have white kaolin clay in my essential oil blend, and I do have orange peel powder. That is the only additive that I will be adding to this. Now, typically we'll add oatmeal, other things, but as far as additives, that is it, except for the goat milk and the infused dandelion tea and the carrot juice. So when you're pouring your lye into your oils and butters, you want to pour them on something that will break the fall, so to speak, to minimize the amount of air bubbles in your solution. Now this is going to give off an orange hue. And I'm going to blend it. With my blender, just to get it emulsified. And you can tell that it's thickening up quite a bit right now with just that little bit of blending that I did. But I wanted to do that before putting in my essential oils. So it's kind of cold here tonight. We are expecting rain, storms, and snow in the higher elevation. I don't think we will actually get any snow like we did the last few weeks. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pour my essential oil blend. And scrape all that goodness out of there. And I'm going to hand stir this. So I'm scattered all over, guys. I sold my soap shop and went from a 12 by 30 soap shop back to beginnings of when I first started soaping to my kitchen, which means my sewing room that has my embroidery machine is shared now by my soaping supplies. And I am now soaping in my kitchen. So everything is, like if I forget to bring something in, like I wished I would have brought my, my whisk. I forgot it, so I'm just gonna make do. This smells amazing, and it is such a pretty color, but it is going to lighten up a lot. So this is still a pretty good light trace. Now, who's made pudding out there? Have you made pudding, you know, from scratch on the stove, and you lift your spoon and you kind of see if there's going to be any swirls left on the top? That's what trace is. Now, if I was doing multicolors, I'd probably go a little, maybe even leave it at what it is, or maybe even go just a little bit more. But I'm not going to be doing multiple colors, so I'm going to try to get this to a little bit thicker trace. This was at a very, very light trace. But the thing with soap, and once you blend your lye mixture into that, it will trace pretty fast, depending on your essential oil, your fragrance oil, or your additives. So I see there's a very, very mild trace there. So I'm going to set that aside, and I'm going to pull my 5-pound brambleberry loaf out. And before I pour it, I'm just going to go about it a little bit more, because I do want a little bit, because if I don't get it to a thicker trace, guys, I'll have to let it sit in my mold before I could do any design work on it. And I don't want it to sit too long because I want to finish this live with you on board. So I think I'm fine right there. So now I'm going to tell you again, I'm a messy soaper. So if I spill, don't worry. But it's a beautiful color right now. Now I anticipate this to lighten up. And this is a 54-ounce liquid batch. It's about a 5-pound batch of soap. So I'm going to do 2 types of designs on this batch. So I'm going to turn this around. Get my other I wasn't as messy as I normally am. So I can tell this is still a little too light for what I want to do with it. So while I'm waiting for it to thicken up a little bit, we'll talk about what I'm going to put on top. And tell me what you think. I was thinking of putting some calendula petals on the top of it. They're very, very pretty on it, or leaving it blank. What do you guys think? Petals or blank? What I want is not there, so, but that's okay. Since I'm doing 2 designs, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to check and see if this is ready to do the design that I want to do on the one side. It's holding up, not as much as I'd like it to. So it's thickening up pretty good. And like I said, I'm going to do 2 types of designs. I shape, guys. I have what they call essential tremors. Can you see that? Crisscross. So I'm just going to go through it one more time to get a better definition. And you can see it's thickening up really good. That's perfect for that. This is the fun part. Well, actually, all of it's fun to me. Can you see that? Okay. So I'm going to set that aside. And now I'm going to I hope you can see what I'm doing there. So I forgot to tell you guys, I am wearing my apron that Megan from Country Gal Crafts made for me. So far, so good. So now I just need to decide if I want to keep playing with it or go ahead and put the calendula. And I think I'm ready to just go ahead and sprinkle my calendula. Let's see here. Get this completely in. And I'm kind of on the fence about adding botanicals to my soaps. I love them. There are some that I just don't love. For instance, I absolutely love lavender buds, but I don't like them on my soap tops. And the reason that I don't like them on my soap tops is when they cure, they look like mouse poop. So, and I'm just not into mouse poop on my soap. Let's see what that is. That's a little chunk of calendula that I don't want on there. So there you have it. Who would have thought that you would get this beautiful yellow with carrot juice? Now, it is going to, saponify and become a lot lighter as the days go on. But this is it. And what I will do is, this will be C-popped in my oven. I set my oven for 170 degrees. Once it hits 170, I have my light on, I turn it off, and then I stick this in there covered in cardboard for about 4 hours, and then I turn the light off, and it just helps it go through the gel phase. So I don't know if you've seen soaps where you'll see a darker center. That's because it didn't go through complete gel phase. But this will go through complete gel phase in my oven. Do you guys have any questions about the soaping process? Is this something that you've ever thought about doing? If you have any questions, put them in the comments. If I don't get to them now, I definitely will answer any questions that you have. I do a soaping class. I've taught soaping online and in person, and I'm thinking about doing a soaping class online again if anybody is interested. If you like what you see today, please share this on your page and give me some sprinkles. They call it sprinkles. That's the hearts that go flying. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. You guys have a great night, and God bless you. Bye-bye. The soap sounds fabulous. Aw, thank you. I'm a crazy homesteader. I really do appreciate you coming on. I absolutely love it. Have you soaped on your homestead yet? I know my goal is to have milking goats. Right now, I've gotten my goat milk from a gentleman that has a homestead, and his homestead is Santa's Farms. He looks just like Santa Claus, and he does do Santa during the winter and holiday season months, but he also raises goats and chickens and cattle, and I get my goat milk, my raw goat milk from him. And this is blended with raw goat milk, carrot juice, and infused dandelion tea. Going to check all the boxes. Hi, Shannon. How are you? What boxes are you checking, my friend? All right, you guys. I hope you have a great Thursday evening. I hope you enjoyed this live. Thank you for coming on board. Have a great evening. God bless you all. Bye-bye.